As a board-certified federal criminal trial attorney, oftentimes I have clients that come in that potentially could be indicted on federal charges. Either they've received a letter from a federal agency like the FBI or ATF or DEA, or they've been contacted by a federal agency. The first thing we do is when that client comes into my office, I want to know all the information about their case, even bad or good. Once we gather all that information, I will then contact that agent and find out what information and what evidence they have against my client to advocate on their behalf that my client did not do anything wrong, or if he or she did do anything, that they are not criminally liable and that there's some sort of explanation for that. In the event that the ATF agent, in working in concert with the U.S. attorney, says and does ultimately indict you, I will be there at the detention hearing for you to argue for bond. We will show that, number one, that you have ties to the community, and number two, and this is very, very important, I will have the opportunity to cross-examine that ATF, FBI, or DEA agent to find out what evidence, in fact, do they have against you. By doing that, we can help our case in the long run and potentially save years, or even you could be exonerated on a federal criminal investigation just by hiring us prior to being indicted on the case. Third, and the last thing, is to make the decision whether or not to go forward to sentencing or to go forward to a trial. Trials in federal court are generally, they're not recommended, but that doesn't mean that in some instances that we shouldn't go forward to a federal trial, because ultimately if you're exonerated, you are not guilty and you walk away. But in most cases, federal cases end up in a sentencing hearing. And it's important to have an experienced attorney to be able to walk you through the process to learn, number one, do you have a drug problem? If you do, you can enter what's called the RDAP program, which is a residential program that can shave up to a year off your sentence. Do you have any mental health history? If you do, we'll get you a counselor, and that can all be used in mitigation on your case. As a federal attorney, these are decisions that we will help you make, and as soon as we're retained and hired on your case, we will begin working for you.